Many Hands has been running Morden's Food Bank since the summer of 2021. So the biggest challenge that we face is how can we serve 100 families every week. We want to make sure that we're putting together a hamper that is nutritious and has the basic food groups covered. Given the amount of food that we need, we've also been applying for grants through the federal government, the provincial government, and it's been really wonderful to work with the families and to serve the families. Some families, though, they feel embarrassed or ashamed to be coming to the food bank. And what we tell them is, you know, right now you might be down and having some financial problems, but you'll be up again, and at that point it'll be your turn to help people in the community. And that's what makes community, is working together, and when you're up, helping others, and when you're down, accepting some help from others.
I'm Shannon. I'm a single mother of 3 children. About 4 years ago, I found myself being a single mother with 3 children. When my husband left, he left me and 2 small kids and the baby. He left us with $8,000 in debt, his own personal debt, and I found myself needing to rely on the generosity of the community. All of a sudden, it was a hard place to be. Previously, we had been the ones donating to food banks, donating to the Christmas fund, buying the presents for the children for the angel tree. I teach my children about generosity on our part. And all of a sudden, I found myself now needing to go, what I felt was crawling back to the food bank, and now asking for that same food back and whatnot. And that was very difficult. I felt very shameful about that, and I felt judged, even if it was just me judging myself. So once I made the decision that yes, obviously I'm going to either have to get help from a food bank to feed my children or choose to pay hydro and turn our hydro back on, I realized that no, I'll have to use that grocery money to pay for hydro, get our lights turned back on so I can cook the food, and unfortunately go use a food bank to feed my children. The lady who ran it at the time, Kathy her name was, she assured me that there was no judgment, that it was a place of just, they didn't ask questions, they didn't judge. Many other people were in a similar situation. That was immensely helpful. It's a great community with many resources to access when you need them. You know, you could choose to go without a cell phone, you could choose to not reinsure your car that year until you get back on your feet, but you can't choose to go without food. Between the bread and the eggs and the milk, Many Hands, it was the hub at the time, but Many Hands and the food bank came through in great ways.
I guess I just saw a while back that there was just a big need in our community, and I could see just from in our own selves and my family, we talked about it together, and we wanted to go beyond ourselves and serve, and so we started asking around, and we heard that there was a food bank here in this community, so we just started asking and talking to them, and they invited us to come and help and see what it was all about. And it's a neat family experience to work together, and it's good for my children to see how there's just to become more well-rounded, to see that there's many walks of life and there's many different people in this world.
We find it a very nice experience to work together, but we also have been very blessed that God has shown us where we can help in the community. We want to be helping those who are in need, giving a gift that we have, something that God's given us, that we can give back to somebody else.
Just to see those who come in and have those who come in and say, oh, well, my check's not coming for a few days, or the bank account's empty and we just had nothing left for milk, or oh man, my kids haven't had a treat like this in weeks, or like, it's just the stories we hear and the looks of relief we see and the looks of amazement we see. Yeah, it's a pretty neat thing.